My fiancé's family was swimming in money, while mine was ordinary and unremarkable. He had always said I wasn't good enough for him and had gotten together with my sister. I ended things decisively and threw myself into the arms of another man. The next time I saw him, he told me not to bother him. The man in front of me pushed him away. "This is your aunt. You have no manners. Hurry up and greet your aunt." Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you are listening from. I'm Aurora. 3 years ago, by chance, I saved Robert. I did it out of kindness, expecting nothing in return, but he introduced me to his grandson. He even arranged an engagement for us. We'd been together for 3 years, and today was his birthday. I baked a cake myself and went to Northwood to find him. Instead, I found him holding hands with Stella, my sister. Their faces were beaming, and their actions were intimate. I felt utterly betrayed, angrily throwing the cake at him. I demanded to know why he was cheating. "Aurora, don't you have any self-awareness? You have neither looks nor figure. What do you have to compare with your sister?" "That's right, sister. You're dressed like a country bumpkin today. How could you ever be good enough for brother?" I raised my hand, ready to teach my sister a lesson, but Ethan shoved me to the ground. More and more students gathered. "Isn't that Aurora? Did her boyfriend cheat on her? With the way she looks, how could she be good enough for him?" They were all laughing at me, and not a single person came to help me up. The humiliation of today was all their doing. Growing up, everything belonged to my sister. At academy, she was the innocent sweetheart, everyone adored her, pursued by boys. I, however, was despised, an outcast, like a pariah. Northwood was preparing for a performance, and I wanted to recite something to showcase myself. I had reserved the classroom in advance, but my sister also wanted to rehearse. The moment she walked in, she interrupted the emotions I had painstakingly built up. Yes, she was the school's sweetheart, naturally, everyone sided with her. But who truly understood me, who bothered to get close to me? Countless nights, I would dream of them pointing fingers at me. On my way home, people would block my path and spit at me. The cowardly me could only hide in a corner, not daring to tell my parents. My parents would just say I provoked them. At home, the moment she cried, even if I hadn't done anything, they'd always assume it was my fault. She could attend tutoring sessions and dress elaborately, while I was left with scraps. I was given her hand-me-downs and food she wouldn't eat. She even gave me fattening chocolates, claiming they were imported, and I gained several pounds in a month. Already unpopular, I was called fatty in class every day. I told my mother, "She's your sister, she wouldn't hurt you. Can't you just give in to her sometimes?" I had given everything to her, and now even my fiancé was hers. Stella clung to his arm, pouting, "Brother, where are we going? Where do you want to go?" He stroked her head. I hadn't realized before how sleazy and disgusting this man was. After we broke up, I went to the lounge to drink away my sorrows. Amidst the vibrant nightlife, I downed glass after glass of alcohol. I even danced there, doing things I never would have normally done. I caught a glimpse of a lavishly dressed man. Fueled by alcohol, I declared, "You're the one, handsome." The alcohol blurred my vision, I couldn't see his face clearly, only the faint outline. I bravely kissed him on the lips. At the time, I didn't know who he was, and later, when I wanted to run, I couldn't. The man's passionate kiss overwhelmed me, possessive, not giving me a moment to breathe. However, his kissing technique was truly terrible, even a gigolo would be better. This man was like a beast, as if he wanted to devour me whole. Unbeknownst to me, I slept with Adrienne, the head of the Blackwood family, the dream of millions of girls. According to TV drama tropes, at this point, I should pick up my clothes and run, leaving a note. The CEO would search the world for me, and 5 years later, I would return with a child. Yes, that's exactly how it developed, playing hard to get. I became the Cinderella of a TV drama. When I woke up, he blocked me at the door. "You think you can just leave after a one-night stand?" Too late. The next day, Liam knocked on the door and told him that a business rival had set him up. Taking advantage of his conversation with Liam, I quickly put on my clothes and ran. Back home, Stella started whining and crying. "Sister, please let me have brother. He loves me." I slapped her. "Oops, sorry, sister, my hand slipped." My mother rushed over at the sound. "You haven't been home these past few days. Where have you been out partying? The moment you return, you argue with your sister. You're the older sister, you should give in to her. Mother, you should ask sister where she's been out with men these past few days. Why does she get all the good things, and I'm left with scraps? Since she likes it so much, she can have it. I don't want trash." I poured out all the grievances I had held inside for years. Stella's guilty expression couldn't be hidden any longer. Mother probably didn't know about her and Ethan. Sister, is that a hickey on your neck? That damned man, no matter how hard I tried to cover it, it wouldn't hide. My father said I had indecent behavior and that he didn't have a daughter like me. Stella didn't get off easy either. I slapped her again, for symmetry. That's how I was kicked out of the house. Anyone who wanted to stay in that house could. I'm a fierce independent woman, free from all constraints. Outside, a torrential rain poured down, and I was soaked to the bone. Headlights flashed in my eyes, and a car window slowly lowered. A man got out, and suddenly, an umbrella appeared over my head. Come back with me, Mississippi. It seemed there was no escape. I followed him back to his grand estate. Tell me, what do you want? Anything but marriage, I can give you. He spoke with an air of authority. I want nothing. Let's just pretend I was bitten by a dog. He looked utterly furious. For the next few days, he had bodyguards watching me closely, layered inside and out. But he didn't restrict my outings. I just needed bodyguards to follow me whenever I left. I had gone from one cage to another, becoming a kept woman, a lamb walking into a lion's den. Although he kept me in the estate, I lacked nothing in terms of food, clothing, and daily necessities. I gained a lot of weight, and my clothes were all designer brands. However, I lacked official status, and I didn't want to live this kind of life. He took me to banquets, and just like that, I became his unofficial mistress. Helping him fend off other women, could our relationship still be called clear? Mixing in high society, many people were sucking up to me. Most asked what kind of woman he liked, and how he had fallen for me. I told them he was just okay, not even as good as the hotel bellhop. When he found out, he tormented me all night. Just okay? Ordinary? You have a lot of nerve. He was truly crude, without an ounce of tenderness. I really brought it upon myself. Why did I say that in front of so many people? The torment was brutal, he was truly vengeful. In the morning, I saw a large photo of the bathroom. 8-pack abs, fair and tender. No woman could resist the temptation of abs. He curled his lips into a smile, pushing up his gold-rimmed glasses. I shook my head. This man's stamina was impressive. Next time, I couldn't badmouth him behind his back. I couldn't afford the consequences of stepping on a landmine. The next day, he decided my clothes were an embarrassment to him. He cancelled all his work and took me to the mall. It was just my luck to run into Stella there. For so me reason, she always picked the same styles as me. The two sides argued back and forth, and the sales assistant was as anxious as a cat on a hot tin roof. Miss, do you want all these clothes? Wrap them all up. Ethan must have given her a significant amount of money to fuel her arrogance. She walked with her nose in the air, strutting like a peacock. He was never this generous when we were dating. We even split the bill for meals. But today, my sugar daddy was here. How could he let me go home empty-handed? He presented his black card, and the sales assistant's eyes widened in shock. Stella looked at me as if she wanted to kill me, but she still tried her best to maintain a smile. Sister, where did you meet such a rich man? Does Ethan know? My dear sister, doesn't he already have you? Hearing our conversation, the sales assistants also started to whisper among themselves. Sure enough, the curious crowd was everywhere. She fled in shame, most likely to go back and complain to our mother. I had put her in her place today. I wondered what kind of trouble she'd stir up next. I was looking forward to it. A few days later was Ethan's engagement ceremony. Various media outlets scrambled for headlines, eager to be the first to report. A buzz gradually rose from the audience, simply because they all knew that I was originally engaged to Ethan, but now there was a new fiancé. I picked up the microphone. Tearfully, I explained that my sister had stolen my fiancé. Since she liked him, I would let her have him. Ah, stealing her sister's fiancé? This sister is no good. What kind of parents raise such an ill-mannered daughter? My parents covered their faces in shame, saying nothing more. This was exactly the effect I wanted. They could give me an Oscar award. Back at Blackwood, Ethan and Stella were kneeling on the ground. Robert apologized to me and said he would dissolve my engagement with Ethan. I noticed the man sitting in the chair, looking like he had crawled out of hell, ready to punish me severely. It seemed he knew about my engagement to his nephew. I strode forward, taking his hand to declare my claim. Help me this one time, just play along. Robert, no need to apologize. I've set my sights on your son. Ethan, Stella, call me Aunt. Their eyes widened in shock, and through gritted teeth, they obediently called me Aunt. Well, hello, nephew and niece-in-law. It was incredibly satisfying. Ethan even accused me of seducing his uncle and told Adrienne not to believe me. Robert, however, was delighted, saying that no one had ever tamed his son before, and that I was the first. He told Adrienne to treat me well. Ethan, because of this incident, had utterly humiliated the Blackwood family. It also disheartened Robert, leading to Ethan being disinherited and having all his accounts frozen. Upon hearing this news, Stella immediately fainted. All her plans came to nothing. Stella was pregnant, and Ethan's parents rushed back from overseas. They immediately disowned his daughter-in-law, deciding that she would leave after giving birth, and the child would stay with the Blackwood family. Ethan had lost everything and couldn't handle the blow. He drank heavily every day and even resorted to hitting Stella. Her child almost didn't make it. Adrienne's temper had also been foul these past few days. He hooked my chin. "You're just using me to get revenge on Ethan, with no feelings for me at all?" I replied that we each got what we wanted. I used him, and he used me to fend off women. What was wrong with that? He was playing with emotions, and I admitted that he was indeed very good to me. I also developed feelings, but in the end, we weren't on the same path. He wasn't willing to give up his philandering ways for me and marry me. He had once said he could give me anything except marriage. Which woman doesn't dream of having a man who loves her, putting on a wedding dress, and having a grand wedding? I used to think that way too, but after experiencing the double betrayal of family and love, I just wanted to rely on myself. Men can be unreliable sometimes. My parents, seeing that I had snagged the head of the Blackwood family, wanted to cling to me. They demanded to see me at the gate, but I had the bodyguards turn them away. They shouted that they had raised me for nothing and then plotted to have Stella seduce Adrienne. Stella, provoked and seeing that she had lost everything, tripped and fell down the stairs. Ethan's parents saw their true colors and drove them out of Harbor City. I took the man she could never hope to snare to Harbor City General Hospital to see her. "My dear sister, your older sister has come to see you." Leverage, she went insane. She mumbled to herself all day, sometimes needing to be given sedatives. Accustomed to lavish meals, the hospital food certainly couldn't satisfy her. She constantly threw tantrums at the nurses and doctors. I instructed them not to give her good food if she didn't eat. She doesn't deserve it. I want her to experience the suffering I once endured. After these incidents, Adrienne's surveillance over me grew even tighter. Before my belly got too big, I went overseas with Chloe's help. On the day I left, Ethan came to see me off. He said he was wrong, but I knew he was just seeing that I had changed my dressing style and heavy makeup. Men, after all, are superficial. He wasn't genuinely regretful. He couldn't find comfort with other women, so he settled for me. I'm not a trash collector. There's no reason to pick up something that's been discarded. I used the money from the Blackwood family to go overseas. I heard that the head of the Blackwood family had mobilized the entire city to find a woman. I figured he wouldn't be short of women. If I was gone, there would be others. A few months later, I discovered I was pregnant and kept vomiting. The doctor said I couldn't abort the child, as it would harm my body, and I wouldn't be able to have children again. With parents who didn't care about me, this child was all I had. No matter what, I had to give birth. Later, I gave birth, and to my surprise, it was twin boy and girl. The older one was a boy named Leo, and the younger one was a girl named Maya. I usually called them Leo and Maya. Raising two children wasn't easy, but I had a good friend in Chloe. She helped me raise them, and I was responsible for starting a company to provide a better life for my children. I also had a business partner named Noah. To be precise, he was my junior partner, although he had always had feelings for me over the years. He even said he didn't mind the children's birth, but I don't like men younger than me. I opened a design company, designing jewelry and apparel, among other things. It was somewhat of a realization of my long-held dream. After the company stabilized, I chose to return to Harbor City for development. Who knew that as soon as I got off the plane at Harbor City International, I would run into that man? Leo and Maya called Noah daddy, which made Adrienne very displeased. His eyes filled with a murderous intent, and he ordered his bodyguards to attack Noah. "Whose children are these? You've been gone so long and now you have kids?" "Yes, well, he's not as ordinary as you." Hearing this, he raged, stepping on Noah's chest. "Come with me, and I'll spare him." Seeing covered in injuries, I had no choice but to prepare to go with him. It seemed his temper had grown even more ruthless over the years. How did I ever get involved with a man like this? Regret was useless now. I had already had his children. Now I just prayed he wouldn't find out the children's parentage and fight me for their custody. They were my life. I wouldn't allow him to take them away. He then turned to me with a completely different expression. "Rory, let's go." He picked me up and even smiled at me. In the car, he held my hand and wouldn't let go. I hit him with all my strength, but he still wouldn't release me. He even shamelessly kissed my hand. "Mommy, what are you and this uncle doing?" I could only reply that we were playing a game. The scoundrel breathed into my ear. "Rory, we'll play games properly when we get back." After many years, I was back in the cage that had once imprisoned me. Could I escape this time? Perhaps it was the bond of blood, but the two children really liked him. They even said they wanted him to be their dad. "Silly children, that is your biological father. Isn't that uncle your father?" "He's our godfather," the two children said in unison. "Oh, so he's your godfather. Rory, why didn't you tell me?" Great, now everyone knew. It couldn't be kept a secret anymore. Seeing that the two children were old enough for Little Academy, I settled down here. He found the Little Academy, he was an investor in it. But something happened on the very first day of school. I had just dropped them off at Little Academy and was preparing to handle company affairs. Having just settled here, there was still so much to do. Soon after, I received a call from Miller, the principal, saying that the two children had gotten into a fight and were injured. I rushed to Little Academy and learned the sequence of events. Kenny, a chubby boy, was bullying a classmate, and Leo, unable to stand it, pushed him. Who knew things would escalate and turn into this? Kenny's mother, Mrs. Jenkins, also rushed over, demanding our apology. Judging by her clothes, she was undoubtedly a nouveau riche. "Do you know who my husband is? He donated an entire building. You hit my son, aren't you going to apologize immediately?" I loudly retorted, "My children did nothing wrong. Why should they apologize? It's your son who bullied a classmate. Clearly, he hasn't been properly educated." I couldn't back down on a matter of principle like this. In the past, I had given in too much. Today, I wanted to be firm and set an example for my children. "I don't know who your husband is, but I know who my children's father is." Sure enough, the children's father arrived. I have to say, this man was somewhat useful in critical moments. The woman, Mrs. Jenkins, remained relentless, still demanding our apology. Until's father, Mr. Jenkins, arrived. He was a bald man. He had some acumen, recognizing Adrienne's identity. In the end, Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins ended up kneeling and apologizing to us. Little Academy was no longer an option. These two children were smart from a young age. They learned many things quickly, probably inheriting Adrienne's excellent genes. Liam, Adrienne's assistant, told me that he had been following my news all these years. During the time I was gone, he mobilized all forces in the city to find me. He would also hide in his room, looking at my photos. My room had been kept exactly as it was, cleaned every day. Due to the pressure from business rivals over the years, the Blackwood family had been under intense scrutiny. With busy company affairs, he hadn't gone overseas to find me. His temper had become much more volatile after I left. During my years overseas, he had always sent people to protect my safety. Liam said I was both his weakness and his cure. I went to Blackwood to discuss our relationship. After all, the children needed a nominal father. I wanted to give them a complete family. Sarah, the receptionist, didn't know my identity and even insulted me. She thought I was there to seduce their CEO. It seemed he was quite the ladies' man these past few years. I had no choice but to call him and ask him to come down and get me. He felt Sarah lacked acumen and immediately fired her. Upon entering the office, documents were scattered everywhere. Several department heads stood with their heads bowed, appearing to have made mistakes. I asked and learned that the company's system had crashed. All the computers had gone down overnight, unusable. Professional technicians hadn't been able to restore it for hours. He was furious when he heard the news. Leo had been interested in computers since he was little. He always fiddled with my computer when I was working. So, I had him learn the technology. Maya inherited my genes and loved to draw, designing all sorts of clothes for dolls. I brought Leo to Blackwood. Leo suggested they try looking in other directions. Since that method wasn't working, they quickly understood and upgraded the company's system. Now, if a rival company tried to hack in, an alarm would sound. The professional said Leo had a talent in this area. He thanked me for raising the two children so well. "Aren't they your children? What about my official status? What am I to you now?" "Wife, don't be angry. Get out. We haven't registered our marriage, nor had a wedding. Who gave you permission to call me that?" My hint was pretty clear, right? I'd watch his next move. These past few days, I had a new product design gala planned, hoping to secure some partners. It would be great if someone invested. I awaited my esteemed benefactor. The gala was held at the largest Obsidian This time, I had pulled out all the stops. Unexpectedly, I ran into everyone I'd hoped to avoid. I must have been having terrible luck lately. First was Stella, who was here hunting for men. Look at her, trying to get contact information from one man after another, practically clinging to them. Can't you have some self-respect? Even worse, she had set her sights on an old man, old enough to be her father. Truly so desperate she'd take anyone. She looked in my direction, and walked up to me. Sister, I didn't get a chance to say hello last time. How have you been all these years? And whose children are these? She started with a deadly double question. None of your business. You should mind your own. Sister, your taste has declined. You'd even consider a man like that. Perhaps I can introduce you to someone better someday. Sister, today is a famous designer's main event. I barely managed to get an entry ticket. Well, then I really should manage my staff better. What kind of riffraff are they letting in? She looked confused, then stomped her foot in anger, breaking her heel. You. She was too angry to speak. Thank you all for attending my gala. Today, I will be selecting partners, and I hope everyone can show their sincerity. Stella stared at me with her mouth agape. I told security to escort her out. She was making a spectacle of herself. My biased parents also arrived. Daughter, whose children are these? You didn't just casually hook up with some man and have a bastard child, did you? The family's audacity had grown fat under Adrienne's protection over the years. They specifically came to cause me trouble. I could tolerate others criticizing me, but not my children. That was a mother's bottom line. The people around us began to whisper. Pregnant before marriage? Then her designs must be no good either. Like parents, like children. These two children must also have character problems. I was about to retort. They are my children. Does anyone have an objection? He had spoken. Who would dare to speak up again? Were they looking for death? The family had developed very well over the years, monopolizing the city's economy and becoming the leader. These people were as insignificant as ants before the Blackwood Empire. He put his arm around my waist. Why didn't you tell me? Next time they say anything about you and the children, just hit them. I'll have your back. I'll always be your support. I leaned into his embrace, feeling a warmth I hadn't felt in years. The man's solid chest was the same as it had been years ago, completely unchanged. Is this the time to be thinking about such things? My face was flushed. He announced our partnership, and just like that, years ago, I was his clandestine lover, his kept woman. Years later, he was my esteemed benefactor. I hadn't believed in fate before, but now I did. I wouldn't be able to escape him in this lifetime. After many years, See again sat in that familiar Rolls-Royce. You started the fire, now you're responsible for putting it out. Did you miss me? I missed you so much I almost went insane. Now my body was more honest than my mouth. Just like that, I was indulging him. His hand rested on my waist, fingers intertwined. Rory, you're thinner, you don't feel as soft now. There's no meat. Yes, I had been busy with work all these years, and my meals were irregular. Women age. If he's like this now, what about later? He held me, releasing years of longing. I slept until noon, waking up sore all over. He even brushed my teeth for me. Come here, Rory. He picked me up, and I sat on his lap. I want this, and this too. Okay, you need to eat more to recover. He fed me with a spoon. Mommy, you're so big and still need daddy to feed you? I eat by myself. Shame on you. Leo and Maya playfully made a face. I fiercely pinched his waist. Who told him to torment me so much last night? I had always been curious about his study. I had never been inside. Everything was neatly arranged, simple black, white, and gray. It was his style. Pulling open a drawer, I found a photo. It was of him as a child, with a girl beside him who looked very much like me. On the back, it read, "My beloved." I thought he had fallen for someone else, so I took the children and ran again. Just after we settled down, I ran into Ethan again. From the looks of it, he had come to reconcile. A man only cherishes what he loses. He said he didn't mind me having 2 children and would even be their stepfather. I said, the children are your uncle's. Do you dare? It's easy to say beautiful words, but much harder to actually do it. Mommy, don't we want daddy anymore? We'll live somewhere else for a while. The next day, when I went to Blackwood, he was waiting downstairs. He shook me. Why did you leave me? He looked to be in a very bad mental state, almost kneeling down. Pleading with me, asking me not to leave and to come back with the children. I asked him about the photo. Do you have someone you like? I saw the picture. Go find her. Rory, that girl is you. It's always been you. There's no one else between us. I've loved you for over 10 years. How could I not remember meeting him when I was little? The family's education was very strict, and he couldn't stand the pressure. So he ran away from home. He didn't bring any money and ended up on the streets. I was also unhappy that day. My sister had taken my favorite doll. I also left home, wanting to clear my head. He was so hungry his lips were white. He stole someone's steamed bun and was chased and beaten for it. I took pity on him and paid for it. He said he never forgot the taste of that wonton soup. He stayed at my house for a few days before his family came to pick him up. He also accompanied me through that lonely time. Perhaps love is about mutual salvation, a ray of light guiding you forward in the darkness. After cutting off the Jiang family's finances, my father turned to gambling and stock trading. He accumulated significant debt, and creditors often came to collect. A cornered animal will lash out, so my father said both his daughters were rich. And just like that, he tied both Stella and me up in the old warehouse. Bring $1 million, or we'll kill the hostage. To have such parents. Even a beast wouldn't harm its own offspring. Adrienne arrived with the money. Save the woman on the right. As for the one on the left, do what you want with her. Just leave her hanging. Let her fend for herself, it's got nothing to do with me. When they untied the ropes, Stella pulled out a knife from somewhere. She must have been consumed by resentment because they didn't save her. It looked like she intended to stab me, but Adrienne reacted quickly and blocked the knife for me. Blood flowed out, and my tears wouldn't stop. Don't cry. I like to see you smile. I promise you, I'll never run away again. Soon, the police and ambulance arrived. I followed him into the ambulance. Doctor, save him. Wake up and look at me. You're supposed to be Leo and Maya's father. Get up. I tugged at his clothes and shouted. The doctor said if I kept shaking him like that, his wound would reopen, and he wouldn't wake up. I quickly let go. He lay for 2 months, never waking up. The doctor said it depended on his own will. The wound was only 5 centimeters from his heart. I called Leo and Maya to his side, and they called his name every day. Everyone who hurt me received their just punishment and went to prison. They would spend the rest of their lives there. A month later, his finger twitched. He finally woke up and recovered well. I fed him every day and wiped his body. He took advantage of me quite a bit during that time. Even the children seemed a little scandalized. 6 months later, we held our wedding. The entire Blackwood family was very pleased with me, and they loved Leo and Maya. Especially, he wouldn't let go of them, saying they were very much like Adrienne when he was little. After marriage, Adrienne was like a devoted puppy, incredibly docile, pestering me every day to take his measurements for clothes. Actually, when I was overseas, for some reason, I always thought of him. I designed countless outfits, and the brand was even named after him. Epilogue. Perhaps it was the stunning person I met as a child, but as an adult, women couldn't get close to me at all. Until her appearance. The moment she burst into the private room, I knew it was her. I wanted to bind her to my side, to possess her. She said I treated her like a kept woman, I just wanted to keep her close. I also knew that her initial approach was to get revenge on my nephew, and I helped her. I didn't know how to love, so I used the wrong methods. My parents' failed marriage made me obsessive. I was no longer the person I was as a child. I wanted to wait for her to open up, to truly love and accept me. But she ran away. She was gone for 5 years. I waited for her return, but she had another man by her side. And 2 children. When I saw that scene, all I wanted was to kill that man and take her back. She was mine, no one could take her from me. I was afraid I couldn't give her a perfect marriage, given my parents' failed example. So when she asked for official status, I hesitated. When she was kidnapped, I slammed on the gas pedal, wanting only to rush to save her. She asked for $1 million, and I gave it. I only wanted her. Even if it meant trading the Blackwood family, I didn't care. I only cared about her. When her sister tried to kill her, I had only one thought: protect her. I would give my life for her, as long as she was safe. While I was unconscious, I heard her call my name. I can't express how happy I was. Later, we got married. I only want to give her the best, and even when her beauty fades, I will still love her. My beloved, Rory.